Hi, I'm Mark Raven, a senior advisor with KaiNexus. Welcome to the KaiNexus Continuous Improvement Podcast, where today we're doing a preview of our next webinar in the KaiNexus Continuous Improvement webinar series. And it is titled Leveraging Psychology for Effective Behavioral Change with Process Gemba Walks. And that is going to be presented by the one and only Tracy O'Rourke, who joins us here today for a bit of a preview. It's going to be Tuesday, September 30th, a different time for those of you who normally tune in at 1 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern. As always, it will be recorded. So if that time doesn't work well for you, we will send you the link to the recording. So before I tell you a little bit more about Tracy, well, first off, look for a link in the show notes or go to kainexus.com/webinars. Look for a link in the show notes for the specific link. Tracy, thanks for joining us. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Mark. I'm happy to be here with you.
I'm happy you're here, and I'm glad you could fit a webinar into your busy schedule. Let me tell you a few. This is going to be like the bullet points version of descriptors of Tracy O'Rourke. She is, including but not limited to, co-author of the Problem Solvers Toolkit. That's now in its second edition, co-authored with Elizabeth Swan, who has presented in the series before. She is co-founder of the Just-in-Time Café. She is co-host of the Just-in-Time Café podcast. She is a master black belt, a UC San Diego instructor, a parody music video creator, and a process improvement, it says in all caps here, zealot. How's that for the list, Tracy?
Yep, that pretty much covers it. Yes, absolutely. I would agree.
So many things, many talents. Well, here, first off, the parody music videos.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear a little bit more about your background, but what led up to these videos, the two, and maybe another one to follow?
Yeah. So, well, I was inspired actually. So I had heard a video a long time ago called Baby Got Books. And it was obviously geared towards education. And, I like big books and I cannot lie. And so, of course, I took that whole video. And then I thought it'd be funny if I said, why don't we make that like a lean song? I like lean tools. So I kind of got inspired by that. And I started writing down some lyrics, but I kind of put them down and didn't think about it. It was actually your podcast that you started, the Lean Communicators.
Yeah.
When we were all in COVID, we had nothing better to do. We thought, why don't we get together and hang out? And Sam shared a music video or like a parody music video. And I said, I actually wrote one. I started to write one. and he said, you need to finish that.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. I need to finish that. So that's kind of how it got started. And so I got inspired, and then I just had so much fun writing the lyrics. And then when I actually recorded the song, I was talking so fast that I was like, I need a music video. I can't just bust this out. Nobody's going to know what I'm saying. So it needed to be a music video. So that's how it all got started. And then I just said, let's do another one. Let's do another one. So we're on number 3 now.
So I didn't realize that the first one was basically, or it was kind of a parody of a parody. I didn't know the linkage. I know the Baby Got Back. It's okay to say that here. I'm not going to say the whole lyrics, but if you know, you know. And then the second video, I know this, the second song, but tell the audience who doesn't know.
Yes. So that one was based on Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice, and I changed it to 5S Baby. Now that one was a much more challenging to write because I had to create lyrics in the order of 5S that rhymed and also had the same beats and rhythm as the song. Mm-hmm. So it was much more challenging to write. It took a lot longer to write. And I had to practice a lot and change a lot of the wordings because I'm talking super fast and sometimes I trip over my tongue. So yeah, that was probably the most challenging one so far. So now I've done an easy one.
So, the second one, before we get to the third one, the second one, I mean, it takes a lot of takes, I guess. This is not your profession. It's easy to trip up over any normal sentence. I'm glad you powered through that. Fun fact, I've actually met Vanilla Ice, and I shook his hand and had a little pleasant conversation with him. He was sitting right in front of me on an airplane once.
Huh. That's cool.
And he was at the stage of his career where I think he appreciated being recognized.
Oh, that's cool.
So we had a little chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pleasant enough. And then what was the third one that you're working on?
So the third one is not a rap song, and it is so someone I met at a conference, someone that I knew at a conference, I saw him and he didn't even say hi to me. He just looked at me and he goes, "I know your third song." What? Tell me. And he goes, that song by NSYNC, Bye Bye Bye.
Oh.
He goes, "You need to make it why?" And then I'm like, "Well, that's only 3 Ys." And then we're like, "Wait, in the song, they actually sing 5 Ys. They say, why? So we're like, all right, we're in 5 Ys.
Wow. All right. So that's written and waiting to be recorded and videoed.
It's written, it's recorded. I'm waiting to get time with my music video producer to get that going. I'm actually going to re-record it because honestly, I'm not a good singer. So I'm re-recording it. We already recorded it. It doesn't sound good. I'm telling you. So I'm actually collaborating now, I think, with someone. I'm in the process of collaborating with somebody that is in our industry who is going to sing the song, and I'm going to be the backup.
Oh.
So
that sounds, I'm looking forward.
Because in reality, I'm just not a singer. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. So I'm
excited.
Yeah. You are a process improvement zealot. And I also wanted to ask, like, where did your passion for Lean Six Sigma really come from? Where did that get you?
When I first started it, I was basically working for GE, and I was a consultant paid for by GE. So I was an employee of GE, but I was consulting for GE customers. So any customer that wanted to learn about Lean Six Sigma at the time, I would fly there, do a class on, process improvement, yellow belt, green belt, whatever it was. And then I would help them do projects at their company. So I helped Home Depots, Lowe's, and builders like Shea Homes and Pacific Standard Homes, and even mom and pop dealerships. So it got my consulting, I got my feet wet with consulting with that, because they were paying me full-time salary, but I was acting as a consultant. So what do you think I did after GE? I became a consultant. So that's kind of how I started. I just loved it.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure why I loved it so much back then, but I did love it. It was very interesting to me, the whole discovery, exploring process of, well, what do you think the root cause is? Let's go figure it out. Let's walk the process. Let's see what we find. And just the whole idea of exploring and pausing and taking time to do that. Mm-hmm. But in reality, I think what really drives me too is reducing pain. Right. So all process pain it's completely avoidable. And there's so much pain in processes and in organizations now that it just makes people unhappy. It steals and robs people's joy at work.
Yes.
And it's avoidable. So that's I think what drives me really is, you're really improving processes, but you're really improving people's livelihood, mm-hmm. their work experience, and you're reducing pain. Yeah. So I'm not really a doctor. I'm a process doctor.
Yeah.
I guess.
I love the way you frame that. And that's a powerful mission. It's, sometimes people, use this phrase, people over profits, lean or profits over people is the criticism sometimes of business. But what you're describing, it's both people and profits. It goes hand in hand when we solve these problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, in reality, yeah, sure, they can make more money because they're being more efficient. But in reality, I'm really liking the work in government where the focus mm-hmm. isn't profit. It's really mm-hmm. just capacity. And how do we improve capacity? and also nonprofit work. So it's really around not profit, but really helping them achieve their mission, more dollars allocated to the mission versus having to spend money on things you don't want to spend it on because you have waste.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those are great motivations, and understanding the motivation of the people you're working with. Healthcare has its own motivations and missions. So I'm glad you're tapping into all of that. So let's talk a little bit then, back to the webinar. Again, September 30th, 5 p.m. Eastern, live, and it's being recorded. Leveraging psychology for effective behavioral change with process Gemba Walks. So as we give a bit of a preview, I'm going to read the first part of the description of the webinar because it frames 2 questions I'm going to ask you to answer briefly, and you'll have much more time during the webinar. Rhetorical questions, I guess. But do you have a painful process, but people don't seem to want to embrace change to improve it? Does it seem that people are comfortable in the status quo? So what can we do about that? I mean, that may be the symptom or the appearance. What are we going to learn in the webinar that helps address some of that perception or reality?
Yes. So, it's pretty obvious that I'm very driven, and I feel like I have a very purpose, I'm highly purposeful when it comes to this kind of work, and I'm excited to do it, and I'm excited to help others to do it. So I'm highly motivated to help people be successful with applying process improvement. But you know what? Sometimes it's not a great experience. Sometimes change is hard. It involves change. And anytime you involve change, sometimes people don't want to change for whatever reason. And you got to figure out why they don't want to change. And sometimes it's about loss, and sometimes it's about fear. So change is sometimes the hardest part of process improvement.
Yeah.
And sometimes we see lack of change or lack of motivation to change as resistance and negativity. And sometimes it's just that we're just not motivating them in the right way. And what I mean by that is what we're communicating, those kinds of things. So really what the webinar is about is so I read a book many years ago called Switch by the Heath brothers, Chip and Dan Heath, who are, I believe they're Stanford professors. And this book changed the way I actually helped people do process improvement. And the tagline of this book is how to make change easy when change is hard. And there's some concepts that I really want to talk about. So I have my own book and I'm talking about somebody else's book, but really the point is that there's certain concepts that really resonated with me. And I feel like I really am passionate about talking about that concept with others because I think it really works. And and Gemba Walks is one of those ways to do it. And there's something that happens. There's this, this is the science behind it. It's supported in this book. So I'm going to be talking about some of the concepts. If you've read this book, I think, and you'll be like, oh, I read that book already. Well, we're going to really talk about how it applies to process improvement and how applying this book in process improvement is really the differentiator. They don't talk about that in the book. And that's really what we're going to be talking about.
Well, you're going to be talking about their book, but giving it your own angle and perspective from all of your experiences, Tracy. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope people will go and check out the book, The Problem Solver's Toolkit. We've done a podcast in the Lean Coffee Talk series with me and Jamie Flinchbaugh, with Tracy and her co-author, Elizabeth Swan, talking about the book and other things. So I hope people will go check it out. People in our KaiNexus community are driven, motivated problem solvers. They're trying to be better problem solvers, and this is a great book for tackling that and getting better. So again, Tracy O'Rourke's webinar coming up Tuesday, September 30th, 5 p.m. Eastern. Not our usual time, but again, if you can't make it, the recording will be available. If you can attend live, we'll have a robust Q&A session as always. invite you to be part of that. That's one benefit to being there live. Look for a link in the show notes for how to register, or go to kinexus.com/webinars. Tracy, I was about to ask you to sing us out, as they say, but no, you don't. Maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah. So my singing history is not good. I mean, I did karaoke once in a bar, and they took the mic away.
That's
Not good.
maybe it was just too early.
So that's why I've stuck to the rapping, rap songs, except for this one song. But anyway.
All right. Well,
So,
go find
but
the
yes,
videos.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. Encourage
Yeah,
everyone.
find the video.
Yeah, go find the videos. They're on YouTube, and that's a lot of fun too. So, Tracy, thank you in advance again for doing the webinar. Thanks for the preview. Fun chat today. Thanks.
Yeah, fun. Thanks, Mark. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Just want to hit stop recording.